Hello and welcome to PlayStation Racer. My name is Mitchell Morgan and today we are going to the World Circuit Races to revisit a race that I have already done. We're going to be heading across to Asia and to Tokyo Expressway, and this one's going to be the Silvia Sisters race. Now, before I do that, I'm just going to go up and confirm that we are on the race difficulty hard, which we are. And I have tried several times to do this, in fact quite a few hours to get this done, because what I wanted to do, and the challenge that was put down to me by people commenting on my videos, was to do this with the suggested 500 pp. This is why we're revisiting this one, because previously I did it on a car that was about 580, so significantly over the pp. So for this one I've used a different car. I've used the Silvia spec-R Aero S15 2002, specifically not the GR4 car because you can't use that. And I'm running on the sports hard tyres. The suspension is normal, as is the differential. I'm running a downforce of 10 and the rear downforce of 130. So 10 on the front, 130 on the rear. To bring the PP to 499.94, I'm using the ECU output set to 98, 190 worth of ballast. I didn't worry about the positioning. In hindsight, I think I'd have probably put that about 50-50 or pushed a little bit onto the front for a little bit of extra braking, but zero worked for me. And the power restrictor was set to 100. The transmission was normal, but I did take nitrous for this one, and this was the big difference between the first video I did and this one. Nitrous and how you use it. So watch this video, because I found the key to this was the strategy of using the nitrous, and I've got the output adjustment to 100. So if you're thinking about just grabbing the tune and ditching the video, please don't. Please bear with me. The turbo charger is normal. Everything is basically normal on this car because obviously the PP is an issue, including the drivetrain, etc. But you'll notice that on this particular car I've got the weight reduction stage 1, 2 and 3 fitted. So weight reduction 1, 2 and 3, nitrous set to 100. Adjust the ECU, the ballast and the power restrictor to get the PP within the margins, and this was done on the 1.59 release, the one that came out on the 15th of May. So brand new, bang up to date on this one. Sports hard tyres, so we're going to be a little bit careful about going through those corners, but using the sports hard tyres did mean that we could just bring the ECU and the power up a little bit. So let's enter the race and see how we did. So this one is the Silvia Sisters, the Tokyo Expressway south clockwise. 3 laps. Let's go. See how I did it. So the first thing to note is that I've turned the traction control off. And at the very beginning part of this race, you're going to find that there are one, maybe 2 cars that are going to be coming up very, very close behind you. You can either deceivably block those cars, which I did there just by moving over, or if they do go through, then using 4th gear, you can normally get up the inside of that car quite nicely. I just left it in 4th gear through here. There's no need to worry about fuel or anything like that. But obviously the nitrous is one of the key ones. So as soon as we get past this corner, I just use a very small amount of nitrous just to get onto the back of the 3 cars in front as we go down into the right hand hairpin bend. You then either want to just tuck in behind these or get up the inside of them, get it rotated in 2nd gear, and then as soon as you can get back on the power and get the nitrous. And I tended to find that if I held the nitrous until I changed up into 5th gear, then that gave me just the right amount of nitrous use and speed to be able to go through the rest of these corners flat. Holding the right hand side there, I'd change up to 6th gear just before the left-hander. That did unsettle the car slightly. Just balance it with the steering wheel, and then try and get past one or two of these cars into this tight right-hander. Again, 4th gear, trying to keep it out of the walls. If you do touch the wall, it will slow you down. If you can avoid the wall, all the better. 3rd gear into the chicane, and you can take an enormous amount of the curbs. I'll talk about those in a moment. 3rd gear on the exit, and I just held that around this corner, up into 4 as we go through the corner, just to try and get on the back of the other cars. A little bit of nitrous again, just to bring the nitrous up to about 3/4 of use, just as we finish off that lap. So if you've got any of the nitrous left, just use that to bring that up to around about 3/4. Don't use too much, because otherwise you're just going to lose all of the benefit as you go into this corner. Again, getting it slowed down, keep it out of the wall, into 4th gear, I tended to find was good. You then want to try and close up on the cars here. If you can overtake them, then great. Thread your way through if you can. And then again, as soon as you get it straight, and not before you've got it straight, hit that nitrous just for a moment or two, to make sure that you stay on the back of any cars that you are following into this hairpin. Again, the same tactic as before. 2nd gear, you can do it in 3rd if you want. I tended to prefer 2nd for a little bit of rotation, and then get the power down and the nitrous once the tyres are starting to grip the tarmac, or as you hit 3rd, and just hold that until you change up into 5th gear. And again, now with no cars in front of me, you can just hug the walls on the corners here. Be careful not to hit them. 2nd gear change just before the left and the right. And then we're going to head off up into the tight right-hander here. Brake in on the 100-meter board, or just where the chevrons start, down into 4th gear. Get it rotated. And then as we come down into the chicane, I'm looking for the strong white line just there. Hit the brake at the beginning of that, jump over the first one, over the second one. Be very careful not to go too deep and hit the wall on the exit there. Also, if you do find that you are following cars into the chicane, be very careful. It is a perfect overtaking opportunity. If you've got two together, you can normally overtake the first on the right and then overtake the second on the left as you come out of the chicane. But it is quite difficult to do, and I tended to find that very often it would end up in a bump and a crash and reset and start again. But it can be done. It is a good overtaking opportunity. If you've just got one car in front of you going into the chicane, then just brake late on the right hand side of the track, because you will go past it. You can then get through the chicane by jumping the sausage curbs and then get away from that car. So we're all the way up on the final lap here, right up behind the first placed car. Again, as I exit there, I'm going to use the nitrous. Don't be tempted to use the nitrous up into 6th gear, because that would then enable you to carry, or cause you to carry, too much speed through these little corners here, the left, the right, and then the left and the right again. I tended to find just getting up into the nitrous up into 5th gear, when I changed up to 5th gear, was about right, and that enabled me to go through those corners flat. And as you can see here, just closing up on the number one car ahead. Again, you can pause and rewind the video to see exactly where I'm braking and what gears I'm using. Coming down into the chicane here, you can see he's braked early. You can see I'm going to the right and then to the left. I couldn't get up the inside of that car on that instance, but we did manage to draw level. A little bit of a door rub through there. I'm going to get on the nitrous as soon as I can to make a dash for the line and to get this one done on the hard settings, and with a car that is only 500 pp. So completely fair. We're within the recommended amount, and we got first. So we managed to do that by just 0.6 of a second. I'm not worried about clean race bonuses for this. You're always going to rub a car or rub a barrier through this, but this is all about being able to go from start to finish using this quite amazing car. So that was how I did it. To recap very quickly, As you go down into the first corner, don't worry about any car coming behind you. If they do get past you, you will be able to get past them through the first corner. If you do get the opportunity to use the mirror and just block a little, well, that just keeps 1 or 2 cars behind you. Fourth gear through the twisty bits and just trying to put the car up the inside as cleanly as you can. A little bit of nitrous as you go down the hill towards the hairpin, just to stay with the cars in front of you, and then try and get the car rotated, so all the way down into second or first gear for this one. I tended to come out either in second or third gear, and then use the acceleration of the nitrous all the way up into 5th gear. Once you hit 5th gear, come off the nitrous. Any more than that, and I tended to find that the car would move around a little bit too much through the corners, and then you would be in a lot of trouble. And then just push until you get to the chicane. And again, be careful with the chicane. If you're following 1 or 2 cars, go on the right hand side, brake really hard as you get down towards the white line, over the curbs in 3rd gear, and then on the power as soon as you can, just watching where the other cars are and the barrier so that you don't hit. And then just use a very small amount of nitrous to finish off the lap, and hopefully you'll get this one done. I hope that you found this video useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new around here, please consider hitting that subscribe button for more videos like this coming very soon. And I look forward to seeing you on another video in the very, very near future. For now, take care. Bye-bye.